see our screen?
Yep.
Okay. And you can hear both of us?
We can hear both of you, yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. Okay, so hello and good evening or afternoon or morning, whichever it is for you, obviously. We're excited to be a part of ABA London 2021. I'm Sarah Vollmer, and together with my colleague and friend Racelar are both digital media PhD students working in Graham Wakefield's Alice Lab at York University, Canada. Together, we form the current founding members of IVAS, or Independent Various Art Space. This international new media art collective is dedicated to investigating the relationship of audiovisual media form between real and virtual spaces while striving to create new visual and creative productions. We reframe contemporary issues through hybrid and interdisciplinary visual forms. Through one of our research streams, we explore questions around the relations between human intelligence and artificial intelligence in the current post-technological time. Irrational and Rational Avatar is one such topic we will address today. We hope you find our presentation as intriguing as we do, and we look forward to diving further into this research. As part of our larger research program entitled Luminiferous Funeral, we introduce here our artificial intelligence philosopher and virtual reality game art curator, whom we call APE or AIP, a play on words from the mammalian ape and intellectual evolution perhaps, and where this entity forms an integral part of Luminiferous Funeral, which is in brief, a continuously evolving interdisciplinary VR game artwork with a physical sensory perception installation that is constructed in response to the growing climate crisis. We have captured a short scan of our large-scale project map built on the cloud-based Miro platform here. The details are of no particular great concern for our talk today, but rather we wanted to provide some context for which the AI agent is situated. Included is the game system logic, the training and AI system, data sets and categories of each text corpus, snapshots of the philosophical output, plans for the virtual reality environment, including 360 video concept and sensory perception modalities, and finally, the installation plan itself, including the architectural layout and projection space. In general, the response to our climate crisis here is developed through relationships to the nature that are harnessed by our digital curation system, in which we seek online collaborative interactivity from others, environmental content which is uploaded to our virtual world-making framework and cataloged for interpretation by our custom-built AI curator.
So before diving into the discussion, it's important to stress that irrationality and rationality between human intelligence and artificial intelligence are, rather than contradicting, are instead phylogenetic, or more simply, they are near relatives to each other. So here we purposely use the term phylogenetic for the species concept in life science and ecology to refer the relationship of this complicated phenomenon and concept around the human intelligence and artificial intelligence. They are the objects laying on the same phylogenetic tree across species combination and consortium. So perhaps it would be more interesting and clear to inspect it under the theory of phyletic gradualism. So changes in phyletic gradualism are considered slow and gradual, occurring in small periodic changes in the gene pool. The evolutionary process under the gradualism model is slow and steady, that species change and develop slowly over time. It suitably describes the continuous evolutionary changes of human intelligence and artificial intelligence due to the mechanism of evolution in time frames. The irrationality and rationality between human intelligence and artificial intelligence successively alternate, and both are the product of alternative variations to each other. And it's also helpful to understand this macroevolutionary process through the theory of punctuate equilibrium. Since the morphological process of human intelligence and artificial intelligence is long-term development, the existence of stasis and stability at some time is also inevitable, like paleontological species and their fossils. And the equilibrium of punctuate equilibrium, this relatively stagnant time slice, likewise real in the evolutionary process. So to conclude, the irrationality and rationality of human intelligence mutually weigh and structure the initial version of artificial intelligence. Likewise, artificial intelligence inherit the irrationality and irrationality from human intelligence, then generate, transcript, and transmute a new gene of irrationality and rationality. That this new fusion gene inspires and evokes human intelligence to fertilize and incubate an update version. It demonstrates a relatively clear frames of reference to our project. The hyper-intricate ways make do review innovative ideologies and extensive consideration of human being and machine relationships in the space and time. Our AI philosopher is inspired by this very theory about the independence between human intelligence versus mechanical intelligence, inanimate objects versus animate objects, and machine versus non-machine. The collaborative make-do framework of the AI philosopher create new philosophical content by inviting human audience to share their minds with different formats and co-establish a new iteration training data for the neural networks intellectual growth. Combine the irrationality of human intelligence and the rationality of mechanical intelligence employ silent tactics to occupy and share the same time and space for weaving a post-technological legend and narrative.
As this project, this dialogue between two and time through a digital dialogue in space aims neither to distinguish the heterogeneous between natural intelligence and machine intelligence, but rather proliferate this heterogeneous nature to make a human-machine subject that is trustable as both rational and irrational. These legends, continuously evolving, form the ongoing fabric of space and time in the VR world, where one explores the invisible erosion of climate change and environmental breakdown by offering audiences an opportunity to dialogue with nature and seeks to focus participants on the inner communication with oneself about the essential nature of life and death. Developed from a Zen-based ideology with inspiration from theories of animate and inanimate intelligence, our cloud-based AIP philosopher uses natural language processing on text describing Eastern and Western philosophies of nature, power, fear, love, space, and environment. In response again to the growing climate crisis, our APE applies a specialized training to environmental multimedia content uploaded to our virtual world-making framework, where it's cataloged for interpretation. An evolving relationship to nature is cyclically crafted by this digital curation system through the ape's poetic expressions and physical interpretations of the accumulating submitted climate content, where these interpretive landscapes and ecosystems are used to generate downloadable game content for an interactive VR game artwork. Here in detail is the mechanics of the AI curation, user-based updates of content, and exploratory features of the game creatures and world as a continuously evolving ecosystem. In the bottom left, we have the AI curation system based on the GPT-2 architecture, where both user input is evaluated and resulting interpretations are fed back into the game. At the top, starting from the left, we see the audience and game players' digital space where they explore the creatures and natural environment. While in gameplay, they will collect the philosophical generated text hidden among the creatures, enabling each player to accumulate their own experiences stored as a narrative and used to feed back into the system. The top right emphasizes this touch-based discourse, the haptic and tactile means by which users reach out to touch their digital space, inducing a perceptive sensory understanding of the changing climate.
So this new type of human-computer collaborative creation process introduced by this project is obscure and quiet, but also full of dramatic tension, just like the old typers used by humans in the past. This project's website and its real-time interaction interface parallels the dichotomous comparison proposed by the Sato strategy versus tactic. The civilized world of humankind has strategies representing strength and power, while ordinary people write their legends through circuitous cunning and wise tricks or tactics. So we present an invitation for thought experiment on asking questions about the future world, where this project solicits exploration of both construction model for the future civilized biology, human-machine collaboration, and of the profound relationship between art, science, and technology. Our AI philosopher do not intend to be construct from a philosophical category made from nothing. On contrary, They're built based on numerous human architects, and this human-only copies connect with a collaborating human current intelligent force and brings the future to our present. It's here to discover novelty, new things from old things, not to confirm the past again from new things. So here's the video shows very basic structure and workflow on our AI's philosopher on Google Colab. It's kind of long, so I'm going to cut it up. We will share the Colab link there. So that's how it works on our website with mobile and PC interface. So people wouldn't, on the current stage, people can share tasks, images, and video to our AI philosopher anytime, anywhere. So people experience struggle every day. On one side are the rules and regulations of thinking and behavior. We can call consciousness from the spiritual perspective. On the other side is the free creation space of a single subject. The tension between the two is not an irreconcilable contradiction, and on contrary, the opposition is full of stress and commentary. Each party is dispensable to the other. The individual's freedom of will, it's not only be blend with a world-defining idea, but the former is also depend on the latter. Freedoms are, above all, an empirical concept. Free will, especially the intention to become an aesthetic behavior through fantasy, can only be realized through one's active thinking, judgment, creation, construction, struggle, and love. If it's a brief and concise sentence that summarizes the nature of the future plastic art form, this perspective, this art is the ability to choose what one really wants in a dialogue with another's view. The free will to change the world is a medium through which the subject can realize the self as a creator and consumer in the most extreme way.
Now entering the second stage or phase of development and testing, audiences can communicate to and with our philosophical curator artists through text, images, and videos. Depending on the generative method selected, conversations with the ape may receive different degrees of instant feedback through our website's two interactive modalities. Initial integration of custom haptic technology and kinesthetic experiences that evolve alongside and are influenced by the content evolution of the submitted user data are in the process of evolving generative responses and reflect the suggested importance of making tangible these perceivably more abstract and displaced environmental issues. The AIP thus demonstrates the intricacies of novel use for dialogues, both from and for human-machine collaboration. By asking what we can create together, more than human worlds are made accessible through a fusion of the irrational and the rational, where the post-technological and the artificial can thrive here now to pursue viable futures in space and time. So in conclusion and to summarize, we leverage the union of Eastern and Western philosophies to manifest a sort of mind-body fusion in a new age digital sense, the struggle of which is explored in an evolving communal and co-creative response to contemporary and global issues, tangibly focused on climate, where our AIP applies specialized training to collaborative environmental multimedia content uploaded to the virtual world-making framework. The digital curation system, poetically mimicking biological, geological, social evolutionary cycles, continuously crafts an evolving relationship to nature through the AIP's poetic expressions and physical interpretations of this accumulating submitted climate content. These interpretive landscapes and ecosystems are used to generate downloadable game content for an interactive VR game artwork, where we further establish the link between this climate dialogue and the AI curation transmitted to the VR world through the stimulation of a customized touch-based discourse. So thank you for having us, and thank you to the committee organizing EVA London 2021 and all our support at York University. And in particular, we wish we could have been there, as both Rachel and I have birthdays on July 4th and 5th, and we were hoping to celebrate with all of you. So maybe next year.
Well, yes, we'll. We